The 33rd degree of knowledge, what it really means in spirituality. There is a level of wisdom so advanced, so transformative, that once you reach it, you can never return to the way you once perceived reality. It is known as the 33rd degree of knowledge, and it is not just a title, not just a number, it is a doorway to the deepest truths of existence. Most people spend their entire lives trapped within the first few degrees of understanding, believing only in what they can see, touch, and measure. But what if I told you that the most important truths are the ones that cannot be measured? That beyond the illusion of the physical world lies something so vast, so powerful, that it rewrites everything you thought you knew about who you are and what this life is. The journey to true wisdom does not begin with knowledge, it begins with unlearning. Since birth, we have been conditioned to believe in a version of reality that is limited, controlled by rules that we never chose. We were told what is possible and what is not. We were given a name, an identity, a set of beliefs, and we accepted them without question. But deep inside, there has always been a whisper, a feeling that there is something more. That whisper is the call to awaken. That whisper is the first sign that you are ready for something greater.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
But here's the truth, most people ignore that call. Why? Because real wisdom is not comfortable. It does not fit neatly into the stories we have been told. It requires us to let go of the very foundation of our identity, to question everything we once thought was certain, and that is terrifying. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that everything you thought was real was just a shadow, a projection of a deeper reality you had never seen before. That is the experience of stepping into the 33rd degree of knowledge. It is not about learning more, it is about finally seeing. So what is the 33rd degree? It is the moment when you realize that reality is not what it appears to be. That time, space, and even your own sense of self are constructs, useful but ultimately illusions. It is the point where you no longer just believe in something greater, you experience it directly. You no longer think about spirituality as a concept, it becomes your lived reality. It is the moment when you stop searching for answers outside of yourself and recognize that the answer has always been within you. But here's the challenge. The mind is not ready for this level of truth. The mind is built to categorize, to label, to create order out of chaos. It wants to hold on to something solid, something tangible. And the deeper you go into true wisdom, the more you realize that there is nothing solid to hold on to. Everything is in a state of constant change, even you. The person you were yesterday is already gone. The self you think you are is a fluid, shifting phenomenon, not a fixed identity. So if you are not your thoughts, not your past, not even your body, then who are you? This is where most people turn back. The fear of the unknown grips them, and they retreat into the familiar. They cling to their stories, their beliefs, their identities, because it feels safer than stepping into the unknown. But those who have the courage to keep going, those who dare to surrender completely, discover something that changes everything. They discover that the self they have been searching for, their true self, was never limited to the body or the mind. It was always something far greater. And here is the secret that only those who reach the 33rd degree truly understand. You are not in the universe. The universe is in you. Everything you experience, every sight, every sound, every person, every event is happening within your consciousness. The world you see is not separate from you, it is a reflection of you. And once you realize this, you are no longer bound by the limitations of the physical world. You begin to see beyond the illusion of separation. You begin to understand that the boundaries between self and other, between past and future, between life and death, are all constructs of the mind. But the mind resists this truth. It will fight to hold on to its version of reality. It will tell you that you are just a person, just a body, just a name with a history. It will tell you that you are small, that you are separate, that you are powerless. And this is the great battle of awakening, the battle between the truth and the illusion. The illusion is comfortable, it is familiar, but the truth is freedom. And once you taste that freedom, you can never go back. So I ask you now, are you ready to see beyond the illusion? Are you ready to question everything, even your own sense of self? Because the journey to the 33rd degree of knowledge is not about becoming something new. It is about remembering what you have always been. It is about waking up from the dream of limitation and stepping into the reality of infinite potential. But to do that, you must be willing to let go, to surrender, to dissolve the false self and stand face to face with the unknown. Most people will never take that step. They will stay within the boundaries of what is safe, what is known. But if you are still here, still listening, then something inside you is ready. Something inside you knows that there is more to life than what you have been told. And that is the first step, the first crack in the illusion. The question is, will you follow it? Will you step through the door? The hidden power of letting go, how surrender unlocks the ultimate truth. There is a secret that every great spiritual master, every enlightened being, and every awakened soul has discovered. A secret so simple yet so powerful that it has the ability to transform your entire existence. It is this: the more you try to control reality, the more you suffer. And the moment you surrender, the moment you let go of the need to grasp, to define, to hold on to anything, you become free. But letting go is not easy. In fact, it is the most difficult thing the mind can do, because the mind was built to hold on. From the moment we are born, we are taught to cling to identities, to beliefs, to people, to possessions, to the idea of who we think we are. We measure our worth by what we have, by what we accomplish, by how others perceive us. And yet, no matter how much we accumulate, no matter how much we achieve, there is always a sense of unease, a feeling that something is missing. That feeling is not an accident. It is the whisper of truth calling you to let go. But what does it mean to truly surrender? It does not mean giving up. It does not mean becoming passive or indifferent. It means releasing your attachment to control. It means recognizing that life is not something you must manipulate or force into a specific shape. Life is something you must allow. The river does not struggle to flow to the ocean, it surrenders to the current. The tree does not resist the wind, it bends and dances with it. And yet, as humans, we spend our lives fighting the natural flow of existence, trying to impose our will on something far greater than us. And this is where suffering is born. You have been taught to believe that if you just work hard enough, if you just try hard enough, you can make life fit your expectations. But what if your expectations are the very thing keeping you trapped? What if real freedom is not found in control, but in trust? Trust in the intelligence of existence. Trust that there is a force greater than your mind that is guiding you exactly where you need to be. But the mind resists this. It wants certainty, it wants guarantees, it wants to know. And yet, the greatest wisdom is found not in knowing, but in embracing the unknown. Think about the moments in your life when you felt the most at peace. Were they the moments when you were trying to control everything? Or were they the moments when you simply allowed yourself to be? Maybe it was a time when you lost yourself in music, in nature, in love, in deep stillness. In those moments, there was no struggle, there was just presence. And that presence is the key to unlocking the ultimate truth. The 33rd degree of knowledge is not about accumulation. It is not about gaining more spiritual concepts, more techniques, more intellectual understanding. It is about stripping away everything that is not real until only truth remains. And that truth is not something you can grasp. It is only something you can be. But to be it, you must first let go of everything that is false. Let go of the idea that you are separate from life. Let go of the belief that you must earn your worth. Let go of the illusion that you are in control, because the moment you do, something incredible happens. You become weightless. You begin to move through life with a sense of ease, a sense of flow. Challenges no longer feel like obstacles, they feel like part of the dance. Fear no longer controls you because you no longer cling to the false idea of self. Even death loses its grip because you realize that what you are cannot die. What you are has never been born, has never been separate, has never been limited to a name or a body. You are the awareness in which all things arise and dissolve, and that awareness is infinite. But here is the paradox. You cannot force surrender. You cannot make yourself let go. That is just another form of control. The only way to truly surrender is to see deeply that holding on is unnecessary, that all the things you are afraid of losing were never truly yours to begin with, that the tighter you hold on to life, the more it slips through your fingers. But the moment you open your hands, the moment you release the need to grasp, life flows into you in ways you never imagined. So I ask you now, what are you holding on to that is keeping you from freedom? What belief, what fear, what identity are you clinging to as if your life depends on it? And what would happen if you simply let it go? Seeing through the illusion. The moment everything becomes clear, there is a moment in every seeker's journey where something shifts. It is not a gradual realization, not a concept that is slowly understood over time. It is instant, a flash of clarity that obliterates everything you thought you knew about reality. It is the moment when you see through the illusion, when the mind stops struggling, when the endless search for meaning collapses into a single, undeniable truth. Everything you have been looking for has been right here all along. But what is the illusion? It is not just the illusion of society, of conditioning, of false beliefs. It is the illusion of self itself. It is the deeply ingrained belief that you are a separate entity moving through time and space, trying to figure out life. This illusion is so convincing, so deeply embedded in your consciousness that you have never questioned it. You have spent your life reinforcing it, defending it, building an identity around it. But what if it was never real? What if the person you think you are is just a construct, a character in a story that you have mistaken for reality? The mind resists this idea because the mind is built on identity. It needs a sense of I, a reference point to make sense of the world. But the deeper you look, the more you realize that this I is nothing but a shifting collection of thoughts, memories, and perceptions. It is not solid, it is not fixed, it is not even real in the way you once believed. If you strip away your past, your beliefs, your name, your attachments, what remains? Who are you without your story? This question is terrifying to the mind because the mind fears disillusion. It fears the unknown. But the unknown is not the enemy. The unknown is the truth that has been waiting for you beneath the illusion. And the moment you stop resisting it, the moment you stop trying to hold on to something that was never real to begin with, everything becomes clear. You begin to see that every struggle, every fear, every moment of suffering was born from the illusion of separation, the belief that you are a small, fragile being navigating a vast, indifferent universe. But what if the universe is not separate from you? What if you are not in the universe, but the universe is in you? What if consciousness is not something that happens inside your brain, but something infinite, something boundless, something that you are? This realization changes everything. Time loses its grip because you see that time is just a mental construct, a way for the mind to organize experience. The past and the future are just thoughts appearing in the now. Space loses its solidity because you see that everything you perceive is happening within awareness, not outside of it. Even the body, which once seemed like the boundary of your existence, is revealed to be just another experience arising within the vastness of what you are. And then the deepest realization of all emerges. There is no self, there is only presence. Life is not something happening to you, it is you. Every sound, every sight, every sensation, every thought, it is all appearing within the same awareness, the same field of existence. And that awareness is not personal, it is not confined to a body, to a name, to a history, it is infinite. It is the same awareness that has been watching through your eyes since the moment you were born, the same awareness that animates all beings, the same awareness that is existence itself. But even saying this is not enough, because this is not something you can understand intellectually. It is something you must experience directly. It is something that must hit you like a wave, washing away everything you thought was real until only truth remains. And when it happens, there is no doubt, no question, no need for belief. You simply know. So I ask you now, can you stop just for a moment and look? Can you let go of everything you think you know and simply be? Because the truth is not hidden, it is not distant, it is not something to be found in books or teachings or philosophies. It is here, now, in this very moment, waiting for you to notice. Living beyond the illusion, how to walk through life as an awakened being. Once you see beyond the illusion, once the veil of separation dissolves and reality is revealed as it truly is, there is no going back. The world does not change, but the way you experience it does. The way you move through it, the way you interact with it, the way you exist within it, everything is transformed. But now comes the real challenge. How do you live in this awakened state? How do you walk through life when you see that everything is an extension of your own being? Many people believe that awakening means withdrawing from the world, sitting in silence, meditating in caves, or renouncing all material things. But true awakening is not about escaping life. It is about fully embracing it. It is about moving through the world with complete presence, with absolute clarity, with an open heart and an unshakable peace. It is about embodying wisdom, not just understanding it. The first thing you must recognize is that nothing outside of you has power over you anymore. Before awakening, you believed that external circumstances controlled your happiness, your suffering, your sense of self. You believed that success, failure, love, loss, praise, and criticism could define you. But now you see the truth. All of these things are just passing waves in the ocean of awareness. None of them can touch the essence of what you are. And because of this, you are free. This does not mean that life will always be easy. Pain will still arise, challenges will still come. The difference is that you will no longer resist them. You will no longer be trapped by them. You will experience them fully, but you will not be controlled by them. You will allow emotions to come and go like passing clouds without identifying with them. You will allow the body to age, to change, to move through time without clinging to it. You will allow relationships to flow, to evolve, to begin and end without attaching your sense of self to them. This is what it means to live beyond the illusion. It is not about denying the world, it is about seeing it with absolute clarity. It is about recognizing that everything is impermanent, and yet everything is sacred. Every moment is an expression of the infinite. Every experience, no matter how small, is a doorway to the divine. But here is where the real mastery begins. Can you walk through life with love? Can you move through the world not just as an awakened being, but as a source of wisdom, kindness, and compassion? Because awakening is not just about seeing the truth, it is about living it. It is about embodying it. In every action, every word, every interaction. Many people, after awakening, fall into the trap of detachment. They see that the world is an illusion, and so they withdraw. They stop engaging, they stop caring, but this is not true freedom. This is just another prison. Real awakening is not cold, not distant. It is the opposite. It is the deepest connection possible. When you see that everything is you, when you see that every being is an extension of the same consciousness, love becomes inevitable. You do not love because you should. You love because there is no separation. You love because you recognize yourself in all things. And so the true challenge is this: can you bring this love into the world? Can you walk through life with an open heart, even when faced with suffering? Can you meet people where they are, even when they do not understand what you see? Because most of the world is still asleep. Most people are still trapped in the illusion, still clinging to their fears, their desires, their identities. Can you love them anyway? Can you guide them without judgment? Can you be a light in the darkness without needing to change anyone? This is the true 33rd degree of knowledge. It is not just about seeing through the illusion. It is about living fully within it, knowing it is an illusion and still playing the game with love, with joy, with presence. It is about embracing the paradox, knowing that nothing is real and yet giving your whole heart to life anyway. So how do you do this? How do you integrate awakening into everyday existence? The first step is presence. No matter where you are, no matter what you are doing, be fully here. Whether you are washing dishes, walking down the street, sitting in silence, or speaking with a stranger, be here. Do not let the mind pull you into the past or the future. Do not let thought distract you from the miracle of this moment, because this moment is all there ever is. The second step is non-resistance. Accept life exactly as it is. This does not mean you do not take action, but it means you do not resist reality. If pain arises, let it arise. If joy arises, let it arise. If challenges come, meet them fully, without resistance, without fear. Flow with life rather than against it. The third step is compassion. See beyond the surface of people. When someone is angry, recognize that they are suffering. When someone is lost in ego, recognize that they are asleep. Do not judge, do not react. See them as they truly are, expressions of the same consciousness, caught in the illusion just as you once were, and love them anyway. The fourth step is surrender. Let go of control. Trust the intelligence of life. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust that you are being guided, that you are being carried by something far greater than the mind can comprehend. When faced with uncertainty, surrender. When faced with fear, surrender. When faced with the unknown, surrender. And in that surrender, you will find true power. And finally, the most important step of all, play. Do not take awakening too seriously. Do not turn it into another identity, another thing to protect. Be light, be free, laugh, dance, create, explore. This life is a dream, so why not dream beautifully? Why not live as a child of the cosmos, playing in the infinite, knowing that nothing can ever truly harm you? This is what it means to live beyond the illusion. This is what it means to walk through life as an awakened being. It is not about escaping the world, it is about embracing it fully, living with complete awareness, complete freedom, and complete love. So now, the final question, will you live this truth? Because awakening is not something you achieve, it is something you choose, moment by moment, breath by breath. And the time to choose is now.